Alright, so in this stage we're going to do some cleanup. Number one, my menu is still pretty much this example menu, so I need to straighten that out. I also need to take care of what's going on with the dates and times here on my upcoming sessions. This link, when I click on it, it takes me where I want to go, but the text of the button is incorrect. And this is supposed to be a list of the notifications, and this is supposed to be a list of the messages, but I don't have notifications and messages in my application right now. So we're going to clean all that up, or at least do as much as we can in 30 minutes or less. All right, so first off, oh, wait a minute. First off, if I run this, come back here and reload. These say 12:30 to 12:30, but data loader actually was loading in which session dates? September 9th through December 9th through December 14th. So something is going wrong. And what's going wrong is I used the wrong signature for the date. It's capital MM, lowercase dd, but it should be lowercase YYYY. Okay, stop that, reload it. And then once that's done, come back here, reload this page, and it's going to say the 9th through the 14th. Awesome, which is what it's supposed to say. But I also have to do some cleanup on the page because I don't want the date to look like that. That looks insane. So let's go to the program detail page. And right now what this is showing is session date. What we're going to use is the date formatter. So I'm going to say hashtag dates.format. And then I'm going to give it the format string. And what I'm looking for is MMM space DD comma YYYY. All right, I believe that's correct. So I'm going to take this, copy it, use the same thing here, paste it, and change this to edate. That looks correct. Let's find out if it works. So we're going to run this application, and then once it loads, I'm going to come over here and reload December 9th through, and we have an error. Notice how none of the rest of the page renders. If I look at my page source, it just ends after December 9th. No closing HTML tag. I don't close out the LI item or the UL. This is an indication that there was an error in my application. And oh, I can see that there's an error in my, oh, double dollar sign. Okay. Save, restart, and I'm assuming it's going to tell me that it had a parsing error. So come back here, reload. Awesome. December 9th to December 14th. Perfect. Tacoma Park and Gaithersburg. I'm good with that. Excellent. So that part works. Right now, this should say go to the website. So as long as I'm here, let's go down to the bottom of the page. Let's say go to website. Okay. What else about this page needs to be fixed? We still need to figure out what we're going to do here, but for right now I want to leave it there because I want to get a sense of how it looks, but it would be nicer to have more of this page loading, more text here. So let me go to lorem ipsum and get a longer paragraph of text. Copy. And then I'm going to go to my data loader, and instead of loading a boot camp, I'm going to load this whole paragraph. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Alright, so now that I've done that, is there anything else on this page, on the current page, that I need to change? I want to change the headers. I want to figure out why this is showing up the way it is. Oh, and I want to change the footer, but those are master page items. So everything on this page that I want to change has been changed. Let me go ahead and reload it. And then once that's done, come here, reload the page. Okay. Did it have an error? Failed to execute command line runner. Could not execute statement SQL. Nested exception. Could not execute statement. Value too long for column description, varchar 255. I had too many characters in my column, and this will happen sometimes. So what I need is a way to save the data. So if I go to program, under description, I told it I wanted it to be a string, and if you tell it you want it to be a string, it's going to default, I guess, to the length is set to 255 by default. So I want it to be greater than 255. So the question is, how do I do that? And I need it to all right, so the question is, how long was that text? Lorem ipsum. So I want a character counter. It's 245 characters. So let's set it at 1,000. So if I take description and say at size max equals 1,000, I believe that that will work. So let's run it. By setting a constraint on the field that it could go up to 1,000, I think it will interpret it uh, such that it will make the field large enough to fit what its maximum size is. And it looked like it worked. So if I come back here and refresh, okay, so it's got my whole paragraph here. Awesome. This says go to website. This looks right. Okay, so all of that has been fixed. Now let's take a look at our base HTML template. So in our base template, we have all the stuff that we need for right now. We're not going to get into notifications and stuff, so I can close that. This is the part for the headers. So for instance, each one of those menus had a drop down. I'm collapsing their drop downs, and actually I'm going to get rid of them. So I don't want drop downs on those menus. Number one. Number two, home should go to the backslash. Organizations should go to slash organizations. Organization. Slash all. Let's say that. Programs. I don't know that I actually need a programs page. Right now we'll go to slash and we'll see if we want the home page and the programs page to be different. I might want to have a splash on the home page, and then I need a page to be about. I'll tell you what, the program page will be to add a program, slash program slash add. And we'll change the text to be add program. Okay. So that is, so I've got that all right. Now if I save it, rerun it, and let's see, let's test it and see if it worked out the way I wanted it to. Okay, come back here, hit refresh. Okay, there's no drop downs, but I still have this little down arrow after the text. See this little down arrow after the home and organizations, add programs, and about SortingCap. So let's take a look here. Oh, see, after home there's this span that says arrow, and there should be one after each one, and there is. So I'm going to get rid of those. And if I was going to leave a drop down for one of them, I would leave the arrow behind. But since I'm taking all of them, I'll get rid of all of them. Come back here, reload my page. And hit reload. Okay. Home. Yes. Okay. Now one thing I'm noticing is the image for the program isn't on the detail page. So I'm going to need to add a space for the program's image along with the image for the organization. But okay, this comes up, awesome, and the about page doesn't exist, so it gives me an error. All right, so the only thing we have left to do is to add the stuff for notifications. So let's come back here and create a model, a new model that we'll call notification. And again, add entity, add ID, add generated value, strategy equals generation type auto, private long ID. So my notification, I should have a date. So private date created date. The message itself, we'll call it notice, private string notice, private, and then I'm gonna need references, long program ID if it's about a particular program, private long organization ID if it's about a particular organization, private string category, and private string type, and private Boolean is red. Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're going to create a notification, and the notifications could be created anywhere. Anytime somebody does something, we're going to save a little record in the notification table, and I think this would be everything. All right, so let's go ahead and generate our getters and setters. Let's go ahead and generate a naked constructor, and let's go ahead and generate and I don't really need to set is red because it's new. I can actually get rid of that. And is red we will just be setting to false. Notificación. Alright, so I have all of this, and since I have a notification model, I'm going to need a notification repository. Notification repository. And this extends CRUD repository. All right, so that is done. And since I now have a notification repository in my data loader, I can go about creating some notifications. So first I'm going to need an auto wire. And then down here, let's see, variable of type notification. Note equals a new notification. And what's the first thing that a notification needs? The actual notice. Okay. And let's see, one of the notices would be Montgomery College just added a new educational program for automotive tech. Okay, so program ID for this, it's not about a particular program, so the program ID is null. Tell you what, I'll set it to 0. Organization ID, it is about Montgomery College, so we do need to know the organization number for get ID. The category is new. The type is so for my notifications, I'm gonna have two types: broadcast notifications and direct notifications, I think. So this would be broadcast. It would be for everyone. And the created date would be today. And in fact, date that. Actually, I think it's new date. Okay, there's no more fields left in the line. So I have that, and so I can say notification repository dot save note, and then I can go back and grab it for adding two more notes. So this one would be tech hire program is reaching tech hire program has accepted you. Well, actually, that would that be a notification or a message? Okay, well, if it's going to be a notification, then we have a problem because we don't have an ID for the person. So I would need private long, and I don't even have a person table yet, so I can't really do that. So let's leave that blank for now. Go back to data loader. Has accepted you for their next cohort. So this does have a program ID, and it's 5. The org ID is get ID. And the category for that is new. The category for that is success. Broadcast or personal. And America's Promise program requests additional information. Program is 2. And actually, I am being lazy by doing it this way. So if I was going to do it properly, then I would do the notification right after I did the organization. And then this notification, because it is about this notification, because it's about tech hire, would go stay here after the tech hire notice, and then I don't have to hardwire the ID. I can just say prog.getID, and then this one, because it's about America's Promise, would go here. And this would be prog.getID. Okay, so I've got that data in my data set being added to my database. And I need to pass this data into my page. So if I go to Program, my program controller, where I'm loading show program detail. This is the page I've been playing with so far. So I would say model.add attribute notifications, comma, and then I would need a repository for it. So I need to copy this. So I need an in repository. So I need to pass in repository dot. Right now we'll just do find all. Okay, so all the notifications will get passed over there, and then, okay, so I have this. Sorry, I'm a little loopy right now. All right, so my program controller is passing in notifications into my page, and so on the program detail page, I am going to pass to the main header some values. And so what I need to do is I need to tell it that I need to tell it th using no with th with th with notifications equal to $ curly bracket notifications. All right. So once I have that there, then on my base page, I can go to where I have the stuff for my notifications. Where is the stuff for my notifications? So this is the main header. I can't find where I put it. All right, so we need to take a look at the page. Right click, inspect. So inside of main header, inside of container header, inside of write detail is what I'm looking for. Okay, so inside of main header, inside of container header, inside of write detail. Okay, there's the search box at the top of the screen. Oh, here it is. I had it collapsed. So drop down notification, blah, blah, blah. And let us take our notifications. So this is the number of our notifications. We'll handle that in a second. But we need to take this drop down list and then say li th each equals note as a part of $ curly bracket notifications okay, and inside of there I need this text. I'm gonna paste this here, and you know what, I'm gonna leave this for another lesson. So what's gonna happen is, like right now we have enough to show multiple notifications, but what we're gonna need is we're gonna have to use a series of if or switch statements inside of TimeLeaf so that it will change the image based on the value of the category field. So notice that when we loaded these, one of them one of the notifications was a success. One of the notifications was a success. One of the notifications was new, and one of the notifications was also new. Actually, this is instead of new, we'll call this more info request. So because of the different categories, we're going to want to show different buttons. So notice right here, our notifications have different icons next to them. We're going to want to change the icon based on the category that's there. But right now, we're not going to get that deep into it. So I have a list, and instead of saying congratulations here, I'm going to change that to be th block, th text equals $ curly bracket note dot. Did I say note or notification? Right. Note dot notice. I think that's the right field. I need some sleep. Note dot notice. Okay, so that's right. So we can go ahead and test this, and we can continue to clean it up in a later lesson. But because we're at 33 minutes now, and I'm tired. So if we go back to home, okay, this looks right. And if we go to notifications, right now I have no notifications. None. And I should have some though. So let's go to my program controller. In repository, find all notifications. So I don't think the value is getting passed. So the way that I would check that is to go to program detail, and at the bottom of the page I can just say th block div th text equals $ notifications, save, run. It is not passing. What page am I on? I'm on the program detail page. Program detail. Okay, so the notifications are there. All right, so that worked. Notifications equals $ notifications. So if this works, we should be able to go to the base page and throw this inside the header, but at the end of the header, rerun, and we should have this random thing hanging out there. And if not, then the data is not getting in. One, two, three. The data's getting in. What happened? Okay, so notifications is getting into the base element. So the only other thing is I must have done something wrong. THE note for notifications in the drop down list for the notifications. Note dot notice. Unless I can't use that like that. Tell you what, let's take this out, save, and just see if it repeats this line 3 times, because unless okay, it's the same format that I used here. THE ses and sessions, note and notifications. I think I'm spelling it properly. Paste notifications. All right, so the test is, will I have 3 of these drop downs? All right, and go back here, hit refresh. I do have 3 of them. Then what the heck happened? I couldn't use it the way that I was using it. So maybe I need to do it as an inline. Is that what it is? Okay, let's try it as an inline. So right here, wait, span, close the span opens, details. Okay. This looks right. I don't know, maybe you can't put spans in here 3 deep, but let's try this. Span th text equals $ curly bracket note dot notice. Okay, have that saved. In fact, let me do some wrapping here because this is hard to read. Okay. All right. So that looks right. Let's run it. Come here, refresh. Okay. My notices are a little long. I'm going to need to work on that, but I got it working. And it only took us 10 extra minutes. So, um, in a later lesson, we're going to clean up the notifications uh, and use some logic here to pick a shorter message, limit the length of the message. Um, so maybe just accept it to program, new information required, um, new program announced, and then you would have to click it to get the actual information, which would mean I need a link as well. But that's fine. This all seems, my new menus seem to work, but I don't have all those pages actually existing. And I've got my detail page looking the way I want it to look. All right, see you in the next one.